The following video has been rated PG-13 for, it's pretty good, if you're 13. It's boring! And really, do you get much more festive than this? The answer, of course, is an enthusiastic no. We're at Gaylord Palms. It's December. It's Christmas at Gaylord Palms, which must mean it's time for ice. All the hand-carved ice that you could handle for Christmas. More exciting than it sounds. Let's go inside and join me for just a little Splorin. Located just outside of the Disney property in Kissimmee, just barely in Kissimmee, Florida, is the Gaylord Palms Hotel. One of, I want to say about a half dozen Gaylord hotels across the country. They are beautiful hotels, and throughout the rest of the year, this property is gorgeous. But it's Christmas time, and at the moment, it's got a little something extra. In case you're having trouble figuring out where you're going, there's a convenient map here, including the snow tubing, the snow throw, and of course what we're here for tonight, ice. And the senses overload, of course, kicks in the moment you walk in the door. Now, to keep everything from thawing, they got to keep this place really cold. And, you know, even though this part isn't the quote-unquote cold part, the cold is permeating through. It is freaking freezing in here. So apparently we're not supposed to lick the ice. It's good to know. This is the first room as soon as you give your ticket to everybody. It kind of shows you the tools of the trade. Now, like I said, it's cold, so when you go in, you're going to have to wear a coat, and they give you the coat when you get in here, because it's far, far, far below freezing. And as you can all see, we look like we're getting ready to go on the Maid of the Mist at Niagara Falls. Now, I'll be the first to say we look ridiculous out here, but this cold is nothing to joke about. It's really bad. So in order to keep things cold enough to keep the ice in shape, they've actually got to put everything in tents outside of the main building. So this corridor is taking us out into a giant tent that is frozen. And when I say frozen, I mean far, far, far below the freezing point. It's worth it though. I've been here before. And this year, it's the Christmas story. They keep reminding us not to lick the ice. I'm afraid there's a reason for that. Being from Cleveland, there's a little extra sentiment to this year's display. And having spent some time in the real Christmas Story house, this is a very, very admirable reconstruction. They even have the Oldsmobile. You just see the bumpus hounds running around the corner here. In the movie, that's supposed to be Cleveland Street, but it actually was filmed in Cleveland, and the real street is West 11th. If you ever go to Cleveland, you can actually tour the real Christmas Story house. I don't know if it's $11, but 11th Street. Photobomb. The bully scene. It's Scott Farkas and his toady Grover Dill. Unfortunately, they're clear, so you can't see it, but he's got yellow eyes. Yellow eyes! They've got the department store. Now back home in the real Cleveland, this is Higbee's department store, and you can actually still see this window if you go downtown. It's actually part of a casino now, believe it or not. I'm not really making any commentary about that. They told him not to lick the ice, but he did it anyways. Ah. But he had to lick the ice. He was triple dog dared. It's the major award! And look at that. Ralphie's mother, Randy, Ralphie himself, and of course, the old man. And yes, it must be Italian. Oh, fudge. There's Ralph with the life boy. What? My mother must have gotten him his shields. It's the C+. Here we go. 3 seconds after Operation Bully Ass Kicking. I don't think that's actually what it's called. Randy's hiding. It's because Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie. Seems okay at the moment. And this might be the greatest scene of them all. They always have an ice slide in here, but look at this year. They've actually recreated the scene from Higbee's. Alright, my kids are about to reenact the scene from the movie. Ian, of course, is Ralphie. Kate will be, I guess, little brother Randy, even though it's his little sister. Never mind. And look at that, it's 9 o'clock, just like in the movie. And if old man Higbee thinks I'm working 1 minute past 9 o'clock, he can kiss my foot. Look at it, they got Santa, they got the 2 elves at the top to throw kids down the slide. They got the cranky elf that drags people up the slide here and there. It's all here. We'll see you in Oz, folks. A bowling ball? Thanks. You can't have the Christmas Story without the Pink Nightmare. And of course, Ralphie's shooting his eye out. Wait a minute, what is the old man so upset about? Can it be? It is. It's the Bumpus Hounds. And there's the family discovering Chinese turkey. And I absolutely love that the Christmas Story soundtrack is playing, even though it's probably gonna give me a copyright strike. It's so worth it. Bringing us to the end, but just the end of this part. Bringing us to this, the beginning of Christmas, the manger scene, entirely in ice. And out we go, and my hands are numb, which is slightly better than the pained that they were about 4 minutes ago. But it's so worth it. Once you come back to the normal temperatures, right here into the actual exhibit hall itself, you see the Alpine Village, which has a snack bar, a Build-A-Bear workshop, the ornament store, Santa's workshop over here, and of course the place where you buy your photos. This year's snowy snack bar features Cinnabon. Before I've seen it with things like Krispy Kreme donuts. Looks like there's Annie M's too. And after that horrendous cold, some warm carbs don't sound so bad right now. When my kids are around, this is what I refer to as the danger zone. Yep, it's too late for me. Save yourselves. I might actually make a bit of an exception for these two. Look at all that fluff. I'd like to just lay in there if it weren't for the whole, killed by a thresher thing. Looks like this year they've added a Christmas Story store. Store. That just sounds awkward. Once you wander around to the other side of the exhibit hall, you see the other half of Christmas at Gaylord Palms. Or at least the stuff in the exhibit hall. course, you can't do this without liquor. I mean, you can, but... I like this. This is a shooting gallery, except instead of a gun, you're throwing snowballs, real snowballs at this stuff. They've even got these little Christmas lists you can make up for Santa while you're here. Yeah, that'll work. And now with that finished, let's take this party upstairs. So up those stairs and then down this hall to the rest of the festivities. Look at those flippin' lobsters. Look at all these people watching the acts. I'm sorry, did I not mention that this is all just one giant atrium? Oh yeah. Rooms, show. But to me, the real show has always been all the stuff to see in here. You see, this isn't just any old atrium. This is Florida. Let me explain. You see, this atrium is broken up into several different sections. And each section is a different area of Florida for you to discover. Right now, we're pretty close to St. Augustine, or St. Augustine. Walking through this little cave area, we find this rather festive duo, who would probably be pretty at home back in that frigid tent. And then back into a different cave. This cave is certainly a little louder, however. I give you the backside of water. And in this particular grotto, we have a selection of turtles and alligators. Because, like I said, this is Florida. And the atrium just goes on and on. Right up here is the old fort. I understand this is actually supposed to be a recreation of a real fort, where they apparently have some relics on display. And then it opens up into this beautiful courtyard. It's gorgeous. Kind of a cool looking little river walk, actually. And on the other side of the river, a beautiful restaurant. Leaving the St. Augustine area, we're heading into the Key West area. A little bit more Jimmy Buffett to it. Definitely a little less stonework and a little more aqua blue. Of course, the centerpiece of the Key West area would be right here. Yes, that's a boat in real water, and it's a restaurant. Entering the next area of Florida, I give you the Everglades. Now, much like the real Everglades, the Everglades here at the Gaylord is definitely designed to be a little bit more rustic in terms of both look and the feel. It's not as well lit. The vegetation is a little bit more overgrown, but it is absolutely gorgeous, like the rest of the resort is. And there's a steakhouse, so right off the bat, I'm pretty cool with it. This is the Old Hickory Steakhouse, and this is definitely one of the better steakhouses in Orlando. Look at that amazing view you get to. Going down to the swamp, we have the Christmas tree trail. It looks like the first tree is themed with nutcrackers primarily. A shack in the middle of it, beware the gators. the snakes. Well, looks like maybe the gator had to beware. Sorry, pal. Got a turtle hatchery.
I like turtles.
My Christmas dream is snow. I dream of bundling up with a nice hot cocoa and watching all my children slide down the hills having so much fun.
Wrapping things up from the Gaylord Palms, I think that's going to do it for tonight. There's a subscribe button down below. If you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a quick click. There's a bell next to it. I'm sure you've heard this before, but ring the bell. That'll let you know when there's a new update, when there's any new content and things like that. If you haven't been to this before, this is at the Gaylord Palms in Kissimmee, Florida, near Walt Disney World. As I said, give it a shot if you're down here between November and December. If you're here after that, check the schedule. There's always something going on. We'll see you next time when we do just a little Splorin.